Hi everyone, I'll just give us a couple more minutes to wait for people to jump online and then we'll kick off. Okay, it's gone 10 o'clock and so I'm going to kick off. So welcome. I'm Kirsten Thrush from Essential Life Balance with Kirsten Thrush. And I absolutely love using the doTERRA oils. And one of the ways I use them the most is for emotional support. So I'm really excited to bring this webinar to you today to talk about essential oils for emotional support. Now, this is my first time using this platform and using the Google Hangouts, so please bear with me. We're not going to have any technical issues. It's going to go absolutely fine. And just in case, I've got my oils here to support me as we go. So we all suffer many different sorts of emotions every single day. And I shouldn't say we suffer. They happen. Emotions happen. And it's great having something that we can use to support us through those emotions. Essential oils aren't going to get rid of all of our emotions, but they're going to help to support us as we go through what we need to go through. So I'm going to screen share because I do have a presentation that I'm going to work through with us today. So let's see if we can make it work properly. Okay. So hopefully you can all see my screen now. Okay. So basically it comes down to, are you ready to feel good more often? Because that's what essential oils can help us do. They can help us to feel great. They can help to support us through our low emotions so that we get more of the high feel-good emotions. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So in this class, you are going to learn. You're going to learn the science behind emotions and essential oils. So those who know me know I'm an engineer by background, and I love the science behind why essential oils work and why in particular they work so well with our emotions. We're going to look at tools and habits for healthy body chemistry, and we're also going to look at practical emotional wellness steps that you can take right now. So let's get started. To start off with, we are created to function as a whole. We've got mind, we've got body, we've got spirit, and we need to nourish all of these areas. Because when these areas are not in alignment and not in balance, that's when we start to feel not at ease, and that's when dis-ease can creep in. So what we do need to do is we need to nourish our body, we need to nourish our spirit, and we need to also nourish our mind. And I love this. I love that our body is made up of really intelligent cells wired to restore health. Our body wants to be healthy. Our body wants to be at its natural equilibrium. Our body does everything it can to be healthy. And so we just need to help to support that. We need to help to support our body to do what it is meant to do and what it wants to do. So how emotions work is emotions are actually information carrying molecules that bind to and react with cell receptors. So we've all got these little cell receptors on each and every one of our cells. And emotions, when we have an emotion, it is a chemical that then attaches to those cell receptors. And a really, really good example of this is when we look at something that's upset us, being kicked in the gut, right? And we get that real feeling in our tummy, that real, That's because it's that emotions that are actually binding to and reacting with the cell receptors that are getting into our cells, and they're actually impacting our cell function and behavior. That's why we have that feeling of an upset gut or an upset tummy when we've been kicked in the gut, when nothing actually physically has happened to kick us in the gut. It's the emotions that are causing the physical response. And emotions are processed throughout the body. So often when we think of emotions, we think it's all in the mind, but it's actually really interesting, the science behind how they're actually processed all throughout the body. And that's where the idea of the three brains comes into being. So we've got our brain in our head. So that's our mind, our logic, our intellect. That controls over 90% of our behavior. And that's what people often think of when they think of emotions and think of it's all in the mind. But then we've also got our heart brain, and our heart brain's our intuition. And the really, really interesting thing is there's so many pathways that run from the heart to the brain and the brain to the heart. They work together. They don't work in isolation. And then we've got our gut brain. Now, 90% of the body's serotonin is produced in the gut, which is really, really interesting because our serotonin is our happy hormone. It's our feel good. And therefore, if we look after our gut health, we're going to look after our mental and emotional health. If we look after our gut, we get a lot more of the serotonin, which makes us feel good. So it's really interesting how our bodies work and how they're wired to work. Not just our brain and our mind controlling our emotions, but it's our mind, our heart, and our gut that are all functioning together, which are looking at our emotions. So when they're all working really, really well together, that's when we get good connection and good wellness. We get our brain working with our heart, working with our gut, all working together, we'll feel fabulous. It's when they're not working together that we start to get the disconnect. And also emotions really lead to beliefs. So if we feel emotions and they cause us to act in a certain way, that can actually really affect our beliefs. So if we have a look at this, I love this little cartoon. So just imagine you're this mum here, and your brains are instinctively processing every life experience. So here the mum's got the phone ringing, the baby crying, the dog wanting up, and it's just all overwhelming. The brain's going, I've got to figure this out. What do I do first? Do I answer the phone? Do I get the dog? Do I sort out the baby? Her heart's going, oh my gosh, I'm just so overwhelmed. And her gut's going, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. And so therefore, those feelings that happened because of the event that happened is now causing a reaction. We've got head tension. We've got conflicted feelings. We've got an upset stomach. We've now got disconnection between those three brains. So we've now got where they're not all talking together. They're all saying different things, and there's a real disconnect. And that's when beliefs can be. We have that happen enough times, and then we form beliefs. So we've had something happen in our environment. We react to it. We feel the emotions associated with it, and then that cultivates a belief. So in this one, it's cultivating the I'm not good enough. I can't do it all. I can't do everything. So we have our life experience. We process that life experience. We then react to it. And it's all these together that help form our beliefs going forward. Get this life experience happening again, it's going to further reinforce these beliefs. So we need to have a look at that, and we need to have a look at what do I need to weed out. So what beliefs do you have that you actually want to get rid of? What beliefs do you have that aren't serving you? And take a moment and just write those down. Because then we can use our essential oils to support healthy emotions. And this is exciting. And I love using essential oils to support healthy emotions. So when we look at essential oils, just like we've got our cell here again with our cell receptor, and the emotions are attaching to the cell receptors, essential oils interact with those cell receptors as well. So the emotions and the essential oils are both interacting chemically with our cells. Essential oils can support healthy cell function. They can anchor healthy biochemistry, and they can promote physical and emotional detox. So they're really good at helping us to weed out that what doesn't serve us and to support that which does. So if we have a look at where essential oils come from, this is a peppermint leaf, and you can see this is under huge magnification, and these are the little sacs of peppermint oil. So when the oil is distilled, this is what is coming out, and this is what is in your bottle of essential oil. So it's a tiny, tiny bit of the plant matter, but it's a very, very important bit. And did you know that one drop of an essential oil has got 40 million trillion molecules? So we talked about how they chemically combine with the cells and those cellular receptors. These chemical compounds service every cell of the body in a matter of minutes. They go to where they're needed. So if we take something like Balance, our grounding blend, we can put a drop of Balance in our hand, rub it together, and deeply inhale 3 times. I'd say a matter of seconds rather than minutes, we can actually feel that grounding, relaxing, calming within our body. So it's reacting with the cells in our body. But when we are using essential oils, we do need to choose them carefully, because the grade of oil you use determines its chemistry, its potency, and how effective it is. So if we take things like synthetic oils, these are oils that are made in a lab, and they've got no plant matter whatsoever. They're totally synthetic. And generally, they're toxic to our bodies. Some things like chemical fragrances. We then have food oils, which are a next step up, which cooking extracts and flavorings, which we can use internally. And we then get therapeutic oils. Now, the interesting thing about therapeutic oils is it's unregulated. There's actually no standard. Some of them have compromised quality, and some of them have marginal health benefits. So what doTERRA have done is they've developed their own standard, certified pure therapeutic grade. So they guarantee every single bottle of oil that we get is 100% pure, and it's of the highest possible therapeutic grade possible. The plants are all harvested in their natural habitat. So they're growing where they want to grow. So therefore the therapeutic qualities is a lot higher than if they were force farmed in somewhere like America or China. Every single batch goes through third-party testing to test for the purity and to test for the quality. And doTERRA then guarantee that they're pure and they've got nothing else in them. There's no synthetics, there's no fillers, there's no alcohols, there's no herbicides, there's no pesticides, which is really, really exciting. And that's the reason why that we can use these internally in our bodies and on our skin and our environment and know that they're going to be totally safe. So how do we use essential oils for emotional wellness? Let's have a look into that a bit further. So essential oils are dynamic. They're providing targeted support for our body physically and emotionally. When we use them aromatically, so this can be in the diffuser or it can be simple as opening the bottle and inhaling. It's unlocking the amygdala. So when we smell anything, it goes up through our olfactory system into our amygdala and the limbic area of our brain. And that controls all of our emotions and all of our memories. And that is why we can be walking down the street and we can smell an aftershave. And just like that, we're taken back to the person we know who used to wear that, or the situation where we were in where we were smelt that. So smell is the fastest way to affect mood. And I like to think of my diffuser and my essential oils as legal mood altering substances. So when my children come home from school on a Friday afternoon and they're scratchy and grumpy and tired, we put things like lavender and frankincense in the diffuser to calm them down, to make things a little bit chilled. Or when they get up in the morning and they're tired and they're slow and they can't be bothered, that is when we put wild orange and peppermint in the diffuser, because those ones are energizing. So by using our diffuser, I can alter the mood of our house, which is pretty awesome. So a great oil to support mental support and focus is peppermint. And it's also really good at clearing mental fog. So when we look at peppermint on a physical level, it's energizing. It's great for focus, but it's also got that mental support and can clear out that mental fog. When we use oils topically, and that's on our skin, we can help to stimulate self-repair. So we can help our body to do what our body's meant to be doing. We can apply them to, when we're looking at our brain, to the back of the neck, across the forehead, on the bottoms of the feet. And some of the oils will also pass the blood-brain barrier. So a really good example, if you've got head tension that you're wanting to reduce, is to use some frankincense, because frankincense is one of those oils that will pass the blood-brain barrier. It helps our body support its natural mechanism to reduce inflammation, and so therefore it can help to reduce those feelings of head tension. When we're looking at addressing our intuition and our heart and those sorts of emotions, we can apply over the heart area. We can apply to the insides of our wrists or in the fleshy pockets behind the ears. And when we're looking at our gut, over the stomach area and the bottoms of our feet, will help with that. So if we're looking at grief, for example, Breathe, or as we call it here in Australia, Easy Air, it's fabulous for respiratory support. So it's great to support us physically when we've got sniffles and snuffles. It's great to help to open the airways, but it's also great with grief and great with that emotion, because it helps us to take a big breath. It helps us just to breathe it all in and to keep breathing. Whereas often when we've got grief, we go, and we start to hold our breath and make it worse. So use your Easy Air to help when you're dealing with grief. And the third way we can use our oils is internally. And internally is really, really good when we're looking to balance chemical reactions. So because the oils are CPTG, we can use them internally. But always look on the label, because it will say on the label that they can be used for dietary use if they can be used internally. And there's a number of different ways we can do that. We can use them a drop under the tongue. We can use them in water, or we can use them in a gel cap. And it's going to support our overall health when we do use them internally. So a great one to use like that is On Guard. So On Guard physically is our protective blend. It helps to protect against seasonal threats. It helps to support our immune system, but also emotionally, it's all about putting up a force field. It's all about protecting us from vulnerability. It's all about helping other people's stuff that's aimed towards us bounce off. So when we look at On Guard emotionally, it's all about putting up that protective force field. So we can see that all the oils are working on both that physical level, but they're also working on an emotional level within our bodies too. Now, we also talked about how our gut health is so important to our emotional and our mental health. 90% of our serotonin is produced in our gut. So when we have good gut health, we then can have really good mental health. And a really, really good daily support to add into your regime is the Lifelong Vitality Pack, or LLV. This creates 3 different supplements. It's got the Microplex Food Nutrient Complex, which is sort of like a multivitamin, but not. It's all bioavailable, which means we actually absorb it all. We don't go to the loo, pee yellow, and piss it down the drain. But it's also got things in it like broccoli, like Brussels sprouts, those greens powders that we don't get enough of. So the Food Nutrient Complex is really, really good for foundational nutrition. Then we've got the Z-Omega, which is our essential fatty acids. So our essential fatty acids is looking after our gut health, our cardiovascular health, and our brain health. And it also in here has got a Tummy Tamer blend, which is specifically made for promoting good gut health. So once again, we're looking after that gut so that we're going to be looking after our mental health. And then we've got the Cellular Vitality Complex. So the Cellular Vitality Complex is all about looking after our cells. It's about providing energy for our mitochondria, which are our cellular powerhouses. And it's also about providing antioxidants. So it's got things like ginkgo, it's got things like ashwagandha, it's got green tea, it's got pomegranate. Some wonderful things to look after our cells. So these 3 together are actually going to have got the minerals, micronutrients, and healthy fats to provide daily support. In Australia, they're $115 for the 3, which is a month's supply, and it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And in my opinion, anyone who's serious about their health, whether that's physical or emotional health, really needs to be using the Lifelong Vitality Pack. doTERRA also does an amazingly gentle gut cleanse. So this is a really good one to help to kickstart. It's a good one to restore clear thinking. It's a great one to improve mood. So this uses the Lifelong Vitality Pack along with lemon and zendocrine oils and 3 other supplements. Terrazyme with digestive enzymes, your GX Assist, which is a cleansing formula, and the PB Assist, which is your probiotics. And it's a 30-day cleanse, which is one of the most gentle cleanses I've done, but is very, very effective at helping to clear out the old, replace it with the new, look after our gut, and to restore clear thinking and improve mood. So looking at that, have a think. What do you want to plant? So what are the positive emotions that you want in your life? What are the positive things that you want in your life? And how can you use your essential oils to support you? How can you use your essential oils to help you out? Because essential oils can provide our moment-by-moment support. They can help us when we need it. So doTERRA do an amazing, amazing set of oils called our Emotional Aromatherapy Oils. These are available in pure oils that you see here, and they're also available in the Touch Blends, which is a pre-diluted roller blend, which you can put in your handbag and take with you wherever you go. So let's start to talk about a few of these oils. So we'll start with Forgive. Often we need to, in order to move on and in order to better where we are, we need to forgive. Whether that's forgiving ourselves or forgiving someone else. And more often than not, we need to forgive ourselves. Because when we forgive, we can move on. When we hold on to stuff, we get stuck. We get stuck in a place. Forgive doesn't mean forgetting, but it does mean forgiving. letting it go and moving on. So Forgive has got in it a mixture of herbs and grasses and trees. So it's got spruce, it's got bergamot, juniper berry, arbor vitae, nootka, thyme, citronella. And the really interesting thing is the nootka that it's got in it is actually a close relative to cypress. And cypress is our oil of grief. So it helps us to grieve, but then helps us to move on. We've done our forgiving, and then we need a great big hug. And that's when Console comes in. So Console is a blend of our trees and our florals. And Console is amazing when you just need a good big hug. So it's amazing for loss, whether that be loss due to bereavement, whether it be loss of a job, loss of a friendship. Console helps to give us the great big hug that we need. So it's got beautifully, beautiful supportive oils. It's got things like frankincense, ylang ylang, labdamen, amyris, sandalwood, osmanthus, that are beautifully soothing and calming. But the interesting thing I love about this one with the labdamen is labdamen, or also known as rock rose, is really good for giving us a kick up the butt. So Console is going to give you a great big hug. It's going to say it's all going to be all right, but it's also going to give you a gentle push and say it's okay to feel this way, but you need to move forward. So it's okay to feel as you are, to grieve, but then we need to move on. And that's Console. And once we've had our great big hug, then we feel at peace. So Peace is our reassuring blend. It's a mixture of florals and mints, and this is a great blend for anyone who's got anxious feelings. It's also a great blend for sleep. It's got beautiful, beautiful calming oils. So it's got vetiver, it's got lavender, it's got frankincense, it's got marjoram, it's got spearmint. Those beautiful, beautiful oils that are going to calm us and reassure us and let us know that it's all going to be okay. And once we're at peace, then we need to get going again. We need to start to move forward. We need some motivation. We need some encouragement. And that's where we get Motivate. Now, Motivate is a blend of mint and citrus. And Motivate is one of those oils that I just absolutely love. Almost smells like chocolate. It's got amazing citrus to pick you up. It's got clementine. It's got yuzu. It's got those gorgeous citrus oils. It's got peppermint for energy. It's got basil and coriander. And this is really interesting because basil and coriander are about helping us to fight our demons. And often when we're not motivated to do something, it's either because we haven't got the energy to do it, or sometimes it's just because actually we're scared and don't want to do it. So I love how doTERRA have put these oils together that can help us to combat all those different things. It can help to give us the energy, it can help to give us that gentle push, and it can help us to overcome the demons and fears. And once we start getting moving, we feel good. And that's where Cheer comes in. So Cheer is a beautiful blend of citrus and spice and all things nice. This one is like sunshine. It's a great one to put on a rainy day to bring sunshine into your life. So once again, it's got your citruses for your energy. It's got wild orange. It's got other citrus as well. It's got a number of different citrus in it, but it's got lemon, myrtle. But then it's also got your spices. It's got things like clove, things like star anise, things like nutmeg, things like vanilla, things like zydravets. So the nutmeg is a really interesting one because nutmeg is a hallucinogen. And if you want a really interesting dreams at night, grate some fresh nutmeg on a glass of milk. It's also got zydravets, which is amazing aphrodisiac type oil. So this is going to make you feel good. It's got your uplifting and it's got your spices. And then we rekindle our passion for life. So passion can be about bedroom passion, but it can also be about our passion for life. And I love this blend of spices and herbs and grasses. Now, passion is the only blend in this set that has fractionated coconut oil in it already. So this one can be used straight out of the bottle. And some people love to use it as a pure fume. Just be careful with your skin though, because it has got things like cinnamon in it. Some people do react a little. So for me, I need to dilute it a bit further before I use it on my skin. But that's awesome because that just means it goes further. So this has got things like, it's got your cinnamon, it's got your jasmine, it's got your vanilla, it's got beautiful, beautiful oils in it that are going to help to rekindle that passion for life. And the great thing is that you can use these oils in a cycle. You can use them and work your way through from forgive to console to peace to motivate to cheer to passion. Or you can pick and choose them as you want. So you might need peace today. You might need console. My husband goes away to Sydney for work. I get out the console and the peace and I put them in my diffuser at night time. During the day, I love to use cheer, especially on a rainy day when your energy levels can just be really low. I love to put cheer in the diffuser and it just really invigorates me. So you can pick and choose and use them, or you can use them in a cycle. So they do come in the beautiful emotional aromatherapy kit like this, or in the emotional aromatherapy touch kit. You can get them either way. The touch kit I take in my handbag with me everywhere, and I can use them straight out of the roller bottle on my skin. Whereas these ones I use in my diffuser predominantly. So you can get either set to use them either way. If you get this set, of course, you can always make up your own rollers using your fractionated coconut oil. And each of them are also available to purchase individually, but there's a great saving buying them as a kit, and they do work so well together. Also, I love to recommend the Emotions Reference app. So if you go into either the App Store or into the Play Store, depending on whether you're Android or Apple, and download the Essential Emotions Reference, you can then type in your emotions and it will suggest the oils that are good for that. Or on the Oils tab, you can type in an oil and it'll tell you what emotions it will help you with. And as we talked about, a lot of the physical manifestations in our body have got an emotional root to them. You can also look at what's going on in your body. For example, if you've got an upset tummy, and it'll tell you what emotions might be going on there as well and suggest oils for those. So I recommend this app as a great reference on your phone. It's nice, it's easy to use. So in terms of how we nourish ourselves, because essential oils are only one part when we're looking at the whole emotional support, we need to make sure we're drinking enough and that we're getting adequate hydration. Especially at the moment in this colder weather, I find that we don't drink enough water. We need to make sure that we're increasing exercise and movement and that we're moving daily, because this also helps to support our emotions. But saying that, we also need to rest and we need to take time just to be. Take time to actually have quiet in our lives. And we need to eat sensibly as well. And when we nourish ourselves on all of these levels, then our essential oils are going to be even more effective to help us with that emotional support. So you fill a bucket drop by drop. You clear your mind thought by thought. You heal yourself moment by moment. This is not something that happens overnight. It is something that happens. Our essential oils are amazing support for all of us. So there are some number of different kits that you can use to get started in your essential oil journey. For those who want to share with others, there's the amazing oil sharing kit, which is fabulous value. Anyone who wants to make over their life I highly suggest the Nature Solutions kit because it's got a number of our most popular oils as well as other products such as the hand wash, our Correct-X, ice blue rubs, toothpastes, etc. Most people, however, will get started with the Home Essentials kit, which has got our top 10 oils, or its baby brother, the Essential Collection kit. So the Essential Collection comes with 5 ml oils. Home Essentials comes with 15 ml and a diffuser. So this one is amazing value for money. And we've also got our Emotional Aromatherapy kit. So this has got the 6 emotions oils that we've talked about today and our diffuser. So this is a great kit to start with to support you on your emotions journey. doTERRA then also have an amazing way to buy, and that's loyalty rewards. So once you've got your own account and once you've started your journey, you can activate the loyalty rewards and set up monthly orders to earn free products, which you can change or cancel at every time. So this is something that we can that we can talk about once you've got your own account. And there are some really great recommendations for emotional support. So I love this recommendation that I saw, and that's start off with your emotions oils, which comes with your diffuser and your LLV. So we're supporting our gut health and our overall body health, and we're using our emotions oils. Then the next month, we replace our LLV, and we look at some Terrazyme and PB Assist, which are helping again with that gut health, because our gut health is so, so, so important to our emotional health. And when we look at month 3, we can look at introducing oils like our Lavender Peace and our Balance, which are amazing at supporting our moods. Have a chat to me afterwards, though, and we can talk about the best way for you. There's also emotional support for children through the A to Z chewable tablets, through the omegas, through the probiotics, and through, of course, our amazing oils. So the other way that you can get started is you can get started with individual products. You pay a $35 membership fee, and then you choose the products you want. Now, if you got started with any of the kits, it includes that fee. Have a chat to me afterwards, send me a message, or go back to the person who invited you to this webinar, and we can work out the best way for you to get started using your own essential oils. That you need to leave yourself with is, how will I nourish myself? What am I going to do to look after my emotions? And think about, nature was man's first remedy to lift the mind, renew the body, and heal the heart. So I am going to see if I can come back to here. Okay. So I hope you've all got something out of that workshop today. I hope you've all learnt how you can support your emotions using essential oils. For those of you who have not got their essential oils yet, please either send me a message on Essential Life Balance with Kirsten Thrush, or alternatively talk to the person who invited you to this webinar. For those of you who have got your oils, I hope you've learnt new amazing ways to use them to support your emotions using essential oils. And if you do have any questions, please reach out either to me or to your mentor who can help you. Have an amazing day, and I look forward to our next webinar.